Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and this is a reply to modern deism and our third proverb. And I kind of am friends with third proverb, and I really want to get down there and see him again at some point. I was able to visit him, and he's a really great guy. This is a great question, and I thought about the same thing. And my take on it is the God of the Old Testament is the same in the New Testament. Folks stress love more in the New Testament because of the extra deity. Jesus. The same kind of carnage is still going on, and life and death still happens, and in the primitive mind there was the good father and the evil father, all in the same idea. Same thing for the goddess. The evil side of the goddess and the good side of the goddess. 1 minute on it, out of Canaanite literature, is caring and nurturing, and in the very next section she's slicing and dicing in the valley. Same thing for deities of the ancient Near East. 1 minute they're providing things, the next minute they're utterly destroying things. And I think that with the stress put on the Jesus, it almost had to come about, according to Christians and other people, especially of Greek Hellenization, to explain it to themselves how this could happen and advance the primitive mind. As an offshoot of the original. But also the original primitive mind worked it through time also. Meaning that the deity of Joshua is far more advanced by the time you get to modern Judaism today. And the consciousness of the people change. The consciousness is awoken within the individual, and they're able to define who they see the deity as. And in relation to that, it becomes a national identity. And that changes depending on many things that are taken in from the environment through the senses. So I think once something is thrown into the conscious from the subconscious, sometimes it's gradual and sometimes it's all at once. All at once would be like Paul. All at once would be like Ezekiel. They come in contact with this in a profound way. They take it as a divine revelation, and it puts them on a totally different mission, based on the influences that they've had in the past. Paul tries to use Judaism to explain what happened to him. However, he's not able to do it. Ezekiel uses symbolism to what happened to him, but a lot of times it's misunderstood. The person who this happens to is the only person who is able to translate it, these symbols, simply because it's their experience. So us looking back, it's very hard to pass on the experience. And that is why Christianity today needs to be fixed. It's not a death cult. It's not about Jesus. It's not about eternal life, like everybody stresses. It's about having the experience in your life. You know you've had an experience, and it puts you on a totally different track to where you want to become more conscious of yourself and of your surroundings. And you want to share that with other people. And it changes lives. So for people to hammer people into believing that their experience of the subconscious is the correct way is wrong. And that's why you have so many different denominations, so many different kinds of groups in Judaism, because each person, each individual is touched by the archetype from the subconscious in a profound way and in a very different way. So the good father and the evil father, he's still there. And you don't have to look very far. The good nurturing mother archetype, the good nurturing father, the evil mother archetype is still there. You don't have to look very far. And to say God is all love would be incorrect, because you're only seeing one side of him. And had these people looked out their window, had Paul looked out his window and seen suffering and homelessness and disease and plagues, it's all still there, except it's attributed in the modern mind to different things. Maybe Satan is attributed to the devil, or maybe the good things attributed to Christ and God. So here you have the split of the archetype as the theology advances. So what do we need to do? How do we rebuild the metaphor in our lives? We let the literature speak to us without no boundaries, and it will impact us in profound ways. One of these videos, I'll post in the link, the process happens to I Want to Be Jew. And it's an excellent video on how this happens. Something triggered something in his mind for him to think about something. And he made a video on it. And this is how the literature needs to confront people. And it doesn't a lot of the time, because we're bogged down with all the teachings and all the normal stuff and all the orthodox that we think that the text needs to be read in certain ways. The literature no longer speaks to the individual. And when it no longer speaks to the individual, the group consciousness is also lost, and they regress back into natural instinct. So I'll be posting the link to I Want to Be Jew's video. Listen to what he says. You're not going to agree with it. You might not. Just listen to what he says and how he explains what happened to him. And that is how the literature is supposed to impact your life. And that's how religion is supposed to impact your life. So take care, friends. And remember, if everyone's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking. And I'm probably all wrong, and I probably screwed this up.